Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you tuned in from. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream. My name is Kellam. Welcome to the show. Feels so good to see some green in the markets, especially following up from the beginning of the year when we had very strong bullish, just shift in trend that everybody keeps wondering, is it going to continue? Well, it's starting to look like, we're really battling through that disbelief stage. So we've got a lot of stuff to cover. If you have not yet, what are you doing? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that bell. It really does help keep channels like this alive and lets YouTube know you're interested in crypto content, which helps support, these other, if we really think about it, YouTube has become a mainstream media brand. Everybody uses YouTube, so we can help shape the narrative of what is being supported on this sort of platform by hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and ding the bell for the notifications when we go live. We are doing more video content now, and you know what? We've got a lot of stuff to go over today. So let's go ahead and just dive right in. If you have not yet, come over to the BitLab Academy Twitter page, which is at Academy BitLab. You can see right here. Make sure you're following the correct one and retweet today's tweet right here. If you retweet this, you are entered to win. We've given away lifetime memberships to courses, to indicators. We've done multi-month memberships. We have a spinny wheel that kind of determines that, and we pick these on Friday. But I'm feeling good today. Maybe we do an extra one today. We'll see. Let's if we can get the likes up over 300, I will do a lifetime giveaway for the indicators. I'll say it right now. So start sharing this, get this tweet out, and we're going to be breaking down a lot of stuff within the charts. I mean, we got some stuff setting up with the Dixie. We've got NASDAQ is moving. This stuff is going to be as interesting today. We're going to be talking mostly crypto. We've covered so much of the broader markets and the traditional the impact that these broader markets and financial markets have had on the crypto space. But there's Bitcoin. It's kind of carving its own path right now, and it is freaking awesome. So hit that like button if you're feeling good. Now I'm just going to go ahead and jump over back onto chat real quick. I just want to shout out everybody here. Thank you everybody for being here and being involved with our channel. Let me see if I can pull this up in the background. I just want to shout out everybody. We have broken 6,000 subscribers. Can't believe it. Such a short period of time. So shout out to the Hit Network. This is also dual streamed on the 24/7 broadcast over at Hit Network. So shout out to everybody there. If you are watching there, make sure you come over here to the youtube.com/at BitLab Academy. You can see right here up at the top and right here. Come check us out. Come to the playlist area. Come to Daily Alpha, view full playlist. Got a lot of great stuff here. If you have not watched this last Saturday stream, you got to come and watch it. It is great. It's meant to be watched anytime. Great content in there also for how you have discourse with friends and family when they're asking about crypto, but also understanding market cycles, global liquidity. We also have full strategy stuff here. How to use a trading view, not just, okay, how do I do a trend line, but quick keys, TA sort of tips and tricks, and how to find 100x, the next 100x coin, fundamental analysis. And there's so much stuff going on in here. Now, we've got a lot of stuff, as I said, to talk about. Altcoins starting to move, Bitcoin pumping. We got, Algorand, Cardano looking healthy. Everything is just feeling really good right now. Now, this is the key thing we want to talk about today to really launch our discussion. Let me double click on the chart and minimize that. This is the market cap of USDT dominance. Do I really care about USDT? Not particularly, but man, it is a great symbol. It's a great signal for what's happening in the markets. We can see right here, if we zoom out, let's go ahead and go to auto, daily. Why is this not, there we go. We can see now if we turn on Bitcoin, where's Bitcoin at? Come on, you can do it. Not loading. Come on, baby. Let me go ahead and turn this on. BTC, USD. Okay. So what we can see here is anytime the orange line is Bitcoin, the price action bars, the candles that you actually see is the USDT dominance. When USDT dominance comes down, Bitcoin rockets. Why? This is money sitting on the sideline. When money's when money's being moved from stablecoin into purchasing Bitcoin, then this dominance goes down and Bitcoin goes up. And what we're seeing right here, we saw this also similarly, right? Try to get this right. We see this as this broke down. This was the beginning of the year. We see as this broke down, Bitcoin pumped. Now we've had a little bit of choppiness here, and we see this trend line that we have right here, and the USDT dominance is breaking below that. And not only that, let me go ahead and minimize this. Let me make this. We also see that, look at this classic chart formation pattern here. This is a head and shoulders. And what do we do with head and shoulders? We look at head and shoulders as an opportunity to understand that there's a likely trend, either reversal or in this case, it would be a continuation of the downside. But we can see what we would do right here is turn the lines back on. We can see right here what we would do is take a measurement from the top here to the neckline. This is the neckline right here, and we can just go like this, go from that neckline down, and we could see that this would. Okay, why is this not working? I don't know why. There we go. We can see that there's a pretty big move to the downside that may be in store for USDT dominance. So what did we just say? As USDT dominance comes down, Bitcoin and crypto markets as a whole, but in this case, let's talk about Bitcoin. It tends to have very strong price action. So this is excellent. We have 124 people in here right now, only 47 likes. Get those likes up and make sure, again, come over here to the BitLab Academy page, retweet this tweet. We are going to be giving away, we draw every Friday for some really great giveaways, from lifetime memberships to indicators to BitLab courses, to all kind of stuff. And if we get over 100, if we get up over 300 likes today, I will give a lifetime membership away to the indicators, which is a multi-$1,000 prize. So go ahead and get that active. Now we want to continue on here. We got a lot of stuff to consider about what's happening, because even when we look, let's come out of here, we see the dominance right now. Dominance is still pushing up. Look at this, broke out of this little fake out to the downside, and then breaking of trend to the upside. But we're coming into where this range high is on Bitcoin dominance. So what does this mean? This potentially could be setting up, and we've talked about this over the last week or two, for very, very wonderful price action for altcoins. I want you also to remember, when this pushes up, this is the Bitcoin dominance. By this going up, it doesn't mean that the altcoins aren't performing well. It just means that Bitcoin is moving as a whole. Bitcoin is moving stronger than the altcoin market as a whole. Now, one of the things that we have to consider with all this is, I mean, there's a lot of things we need to consider, let's be honest. But one of the things that we can focus on right now, what is today? Today is April 11th. And again, if you're watching this at any point in the future, all of these concepts and strategies apply to any time frame. You need to understand what these concepts and strategies and considerations are when you're doing technical analysis and you're trying to determine what strategy you're going to employ or deploy or adjust or adapt within the market based on certain market constraints or market considerations. And in this case, if dominance is going up, then this means Bitcoin is outperforming the index of all altcoins. Now, today is April 11th, and we can see this pushing up. And now if we come over here, I think it's called crypto bubbles. Let's see, crypto bubbles. If we look at this, we can see, no, I don't want to drag and drop. We can see on crypto bubbles, it's not like Bitcoin is the only thing that's moving. We're seeing all kinds of coins move. We got Render up 21%, Solana up 13%, Phantom up 10%, Stacks up 15%, Injected. We just covered this coin yesterday, up 13%. You know, if we go just, let's go on the hour. Let's see where we're at right here. We could see, oh man, Render's still pumping. If we come, let's go on the month. We can see different, this is a fun website. If you've never used it, it's cryptobubbles.net. You can also look at this in smaller or larger time frames. So even if we go, let's go on the top 200, we can see Trader Joe up like crazy. Let's look at the week. Okay, man, we got ICX down. I believe this is Icon, Liquidity, Ron, Jasmy. We got a lot of movement in the market. So what are we trying to do? What am I trying to say here? what I'm trying to say here is we have to have an understanding if we want to consistently be in the green, meaning not at a loss, meaning we're navigating the market in such a way that our portfolios are profitable. That is the goal here. That's what I'm not here just to talk to you so I can see myself in the video screen monitor here talking to you. No, I'm here to help you shortcut all the troubles and trials and tribulations that not only myself, but a lot of the other analysts and people that I've worked with and people I've learned from over the years, trying to help you shortcut some of those pitfalls. And I don't want you to get up to nearly $100,000 in crypto assets because you're trading responsibly and then do something stupid like, start leverage trading because all of a sudden you're going to be rich. I did that. I lost about $70,000 in about 3 days. And this was years ago, and I call it my crypto tuition. But the point of this stream is to help bridge that gap from beginner to pro, help you shortcut past all those stupid decisions and emotional trading. This stream here at BitLab Academy is all about helping you navigate this market. So when we're looking at all these things and we're looking at different coins pumping and we come over here to these altcoins, we see them pushing up. Now, given these are all on the 2-hour chart, you got to always pay attention to what asset pairing you're looking at and what time frame so you understand what you're looking at. But we're seeing a lot of strong movement in the markets. Now, of course, today's thumbnail is brought to you by the Bears. Today's thumbnail is brought to you by the Bears. We can see right here, you see bulls take control and the Bears holding the sign canceled, ? Are the Bears canceled? Well, we have to really look into this. We've got to really figure this out because just because we've had strong bullish movement, and look, this is even pushing even higher, just because we've had this strong bullish movement, let's come out here on the 3-day, we're seeing this strong movement. Every one of these lines above us is major roadblocks ahead. And in addition to these major roadblocks for the bulls, we also have to consider that, I think it's right. No, it's not right here. Where is it at? I thought I had it up. Let's just pull it up here. Come over here to CoinGlass, free website, wonderful website to utilize. We've got to pay attention to this. We want to know the health of movements when they are coming into the market, because if this movement right here, let's come down to the 12-hour. If this push up consolidation into this basically a symmetrical triangle, it's kind of a bull flag. It's quite long to be a bull flag or bull pennant, but we can kind of measure this from here, Option T or Alt T if you're on PC, and we could see that we may have a little bit more upside based on this measurement, but we had a bullish impulse. We also had a bearish test down, really confirmed this as support, continuation up, broke through this key 24,600 to $25,000 level. We held above it. We consolidated at this very strong resistance. And if we zoom out on this a bit, we can see this is previous macro support. We've talked about this a lot, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. But the point I'm getting at here is this movement, let's come down to the 4-hour, is this movement that we see right here? And remember, this is 2 days ago. I did this support trade entry, a stop loss, and potential target, and we've almost hit that exactly, okay? But what I'm trying to get at here, this movement right here, because we got these green candles, does not necessarily mean we're going to the moon and throw it all in and throw away our risk. Throw away our risk management. You always need to consider risk management. So although I want you all to notice this, whether it's this channel or any channel that you're watching, that anytime you see a thumbnail, even this one, bulls take control, bears canceled, notice the question mark we have right there. And also notice that there's always going to be a narrative and then a sort of a debate of data. You should always have a debate of data. Don't only, if you are bullish, don't only look at the bullish narrative, because that means you're ignoring the bearish setup that could be brewing. And we see the dominance coming up into a very key level right here. As we can see, has been this region. We're already within the region, because this peak down here at 47%. This peaked up here at 48.5. This peaked up here at 48.5. We're already above that. We're up at 48.58. Is this going to push higher and break this trend? And is Bitcoin going to really steal the narrative within the whole crypto ecosystem. It could. Altcoins could suffer. We're seeing a flight from the safety of people feeling in banks. And Bitcoin is, in terms of, I don't want to call it safety, but in terms of longevity and the strength of narrative and belief, I think Bitcoin does hold the cake there within the entire crypto ecosystem because of the length of time it's been around, because of the security, the decentralized nature. I mean, look at, I think it's this right here. Look at this right here. This is, if we can, I mean, this is the growth of the globally distributed Bitcoin network of computer nodes. This is from the start, and we're seeing this over time. Look at this. It's like the type of infection we need. The world needs this type of viral infection, this infection of greatness and decentralization of freedom. That's what I want the world to be taking on. And we're seeing it in front of our eyes. So we need, and I shout out to everybody here in chat, shout out to everybody on the stream, whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching this at a later time. Thank you for being here. And again, if this is your first time, my name is Kelly Kellam. That's where you can find me on my Twitter at Kelly Kellam. And make sure, if you're watching on, if this is clipped somewhere else, if you're watching the 24/7 network, make sure you check out all these socials that are down here and BitLab Academy, because I'm going back to Atlanta on Sunday, and we are basically, while I'm there, we will be rolling out all of, we're basically rolling out the new website and starting to get all the new content rolled out at BitLab Academy. And that is right here. This is the old site, but you could still, it's all going to work the same at bitlabacademy.com. So sometime in about a week and a half, you're going to see the new website, but sign up for the email list here. You're going to be entered to win some stuff as well. I'm starting to send out a bunch of great content. It's free content. So sign up for the email list here, and all the indicators that we use here, you can find here at BitLab Academy /indicators. Get involved, because these are really, really well engineered indicators in conjunction with me, Frankie Candles, and very, 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 I mean, high, let's just say, multi-$100 million hedge fund trading algorithmic developer. Okay. And so we've really tied together from the beginner to the advanced mindset, and how the signals that smart money uses while also an active day trader uses. And that's what you get here at the BitLab Trading Stack. And this is a new website that we are going to be rolling out. We've got a bunch of, a lot of the stuff that, I can't even tell you how much stuff we got. On-chain analysis, advanced courses, beginner courses, trading fundamentals, psychology of trading, candles, candle patterns. There's so much stuff going on there. Now let's just dive into this. Let's dive into the stream. We've got a lot of stuff to consider here, because Bitcoin's pumping. Does that mean we're going to the moon? Well, first off, we've got 190 people watching and only 96 likes. What are you doing? Get involved with this stream. Hit that like button, subscribe, join us here on our channel, in our community. We got a wonderful community here. And I do want to shout out the mods. Alex Green, thank you for all your help. Alexandra G, both with the same initials. Thank you so much for your help. Total Clinic Solutions, always in the house. I think Kara Swigart Harris was the first one in the house today. Nicholas Rito, who's checking in with us. He's at court. I think he's on jury duty there, but he's got an earbud in, so shout out to him. Crimson Caravan Company. We got so many people in here. I love our community. Taylor Brown, always in the house. Shake and bake, shake and back. Crypto 420. We're gonna continue on here. So IMF just cut its GDP forecast, which is GDP, gross domestic product, saying the global economy is heading for its weakest growth since 1990. Now, while this could be potentially bearish for the markets, traditional markets, I should say, I think with this narrative and the strength and the legacy that Bitcoin is already building, we can start to see this shift of Bitcoin being this true psychological and cultural, alternative to the traditional system. So while this could be very bad for market projections for, when we're looking at, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, S&P 500, these sorts of traditional assets, Bitcoin is starting to shake that narrative. Bitcoin is starting to be, that alternative asset. Some people want to call it a hedge against inflation. It's not really that. It's really just a hedge against government control of your freedom. Bitcoin allows people to be banked globally. without an intermediary. You know, there's no arbitrary inflation to make sure a government can stay in power. No, this is decentralized the world over, as we've seen in this graphic right here. With this, I mean, it's not just the U.S., it's the rest of the Western world. It's starting to grow all over Africa, South America, all over Asia, Australia. This is a globally decentralized currency. And so when we see headlines like this, the IMF, International Monetary Fund, basically projecting slower growth of economies. This is scary for markets, and we're seeing a flight from banks. So we are in the right place if you are invested in crypto, but you've got to be prepared for the chop, for the shakeouts, for the downside, because it will come. And when you have strategies to deploy and understand this market, you will start to understand that the volatility within these markets, let's come back here, auto, the volatility, this huge push up, even from here, all the way to the top there, you know, 600% rise. Everybody was loving this volatility, but those that weren't prepared and bought this hype hated this. Oh, Bitcoin is a scam because it's down 75%. Well, being down 75%, this, for somebody that has a strategy, this is a 75% better opportunity. So when you can take advantage of buying in these accumulation zones and selling in these distribution zones, rather than being held hostage to your emotions and buying because a bunch of mainstream media news outlets are talking about it and you saw your friend get rich. If you saw your friend get rich and then you buy, then he got rich because not just him, but everybody out there. Those people that are getting rich, they are selling or taking some profits at these levels while somebody else is left holding the bag. And that's not what we're doing. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about our strategy. Let's talk about what we can do to get rid of our old bad habits so that we can dominate this market with good habits. And part of that is letting go some of those behaviors and some of those actions and some of those ineffective strategies that were holding us hostage with losses instead of profits. So I'm going to jump back to chat here. Got 213 people in the room, 114 likes. Let's get those likes up. Now, how is everybody feeling today? Have you engaged with the poll? We got a poll in here. Where's my mouse at? There we go. We got a poll in here, and the poll is, do you think this is full bull? Do you think we're gonna get up to $32,000 to $34,000? Do you think it's a bull trap? Let me know in that poll. We're gonna be pulling that up in a little bit, and I want to know how many of you are still sitting on the sideline. And if you're on the sideline, is it with your entire portfolio, or maybe you haven't even invested yet? Is it just with a portion of your portfolio? Where are you at with this market? Are you already in position and riding the train right now? Have you recently entered and hoping that you didn't buy a top? Like, for instance, when we come back onto the chart, did you recently enter somewhere, here? Where are you at? Because I want you all to know, if you've ever lost money, all of us, anybody that's in the market, unless they're lying, every single person that's ever been in the market has lost money in the market. The goal is to learn from those mistakes and get involved with, adjusting and adapting your strategy so you can take advantage of the data that's available to you, so you can trade on data, not on emotions. Because even if you bought here and then it dropped, you only lose money if you bought here because you're finally excited and then this scares you, so you sold. That's not what we're doing. We are implementing strategies and process. So what can we do right now? Well, let's go ahead and look through a couple of these prepared tweets I have that I found. So this is, it's not just me. Stock Money Lizards, wonderful account you should follow. This is the same chart I was just showing you, the Bitcoin dominance. Looking at this dominance, this is a much clearer, easy way to look at it. We get up in this region, up in this 48% region, and this for quite a while of time, since April 2021 all the way until now, 2.5 years or so. We're seeing, I guess actually right about 2 years, we're seeing that this has been a very long range trade, that when the dominance is pushed up, this is when the Bitcoin markets are starting to open, the crypto markets are starting to get excited again. There's fuel coming into the market. And if I'm going to pull this up really quick. I need to move my, we can come here, and I remember Ted Talks Macro. He had a great great graphic for this that we need to remember. And it is not too far back. Let me go ahead here. We can see this right here. So money tends to flow into Bitcoin first. And then this is a key thing I want to talk about. This is what I think we really need to understand. Phase 2, Ethereum. Now, why is this important? Because, excuse me, I had to cough. Because for a lot of us, most people in the market aren't holding just Bitcoin and Ethereum. There's a lot of people out there, especially newer people in the market, that may have some Ethereum and then primarily a lot of other altcoins, maybe some Bitcoin. And I want everybody, this is not financial advice. This is just a reminder in terms of the need for diversification within a portfolio. Bitcoin is a safe asset as it relates to the rest of the crypto ecosystem. So we should all have some portion of our portfolio allocated to Bitcoin. And the safer you want to be, the larger that allocation is. The more risky you want to be with, potential huge gains, also comes potential huge losses. So the further we go down that crypto market cap ranking, the smaller market cap is. What do I mean by that? Remember, stick with me here. If you already know this, it's okay. This is about bridging that gap from beginner to pro. So we gotta throw this knowledge back to somebody that may be newer in the market. And we're going to be diving into a lot of charts, doing a lot of TA here in a little bit and talking about how to navigate this. But we have to remember this: cryptocurrency prices by market cap. Don't think something's a good and affordable price because you see Bitcoin's expensive at 30,000 and BNB must be more affordable because it's 330, and XRP is so much more affordable because it's only 52 cents. These numbers do not matter when you're trying to figure out if a coin or a project or an asset is valuable or not. That's not how it works. Okay? You want to look at the market cap. And this is ranking how much liquidity, how much asset value is within these individual assets. So we see Bitcoin has the largest amount, and this is why you can see the total crypto market cap is pushing 1.3 trillion. It's just shy of that, and 45% dominance. This is what dominance is: 45.4% of the entire crypto ecosystem. All these coins, 30,000 coins, whatever. 45% of this 1.3 trillion is all in Bitcoin. And so what I'm saying here is that the larger the market cap, the larger the ship is. The less it will, the less impact down, the less likely downside you're going to have. This is why you see with Bitcoin in this massive drop here. Okay, yes, we did get a 75% drop, but you can look at something like, for instance, you can look at something like Filecoin is a good example. This is one of the reasons why I allocated to Filecoin. Great infrastructure play, but we could see from the top here, we press shift, click on the thing, click on this chart, and we can see this dropped 99%. 99%. So the point here is the smaller the market cap, the more risky that the investment is. So we want to have a basket of currencies, a variety of different currencies that we're holding in our portfolio. Now, the reason I say that is because when we come back over here to this chart, if Bitcoin is the safest asset comparatively within the crypto ecosystem, and we're seeing a large bear market in the crypto ecosystem, we start seeing money flow into Bitcoin, then we also slowly start to see money flow into, as the strength comes into the crypto ecosystem, we start seeing that money sort of, think of this like a waterfall. Okay, this is the top of the waterfall. Water comes into the top of the waterfall, and as this gains strength, there's a little bit of a dam, right? And as the pressure fills up, and the pressure would be the psychological comfort, the belief that, the bulls may rally again, the belief that the accumulation period is here and it's time to prepare for the bull market, and we start seeing Bitcoin pushing up strong, then we'll also start seeing other altcoins and, things start making some runs as well. But then you'll get really strong alt seasons. And for people that don't know, alt seasons is when you start getting those multi-100%, multi-1000% pumps all over the all over the alt market. And you get that, and this is why it's so important, by understanding this chart right here, this BTC.D. This is how you find it. Same thing right here. When you get the dominance coming in, you are also seeing altcoins push higher. But once there's some profit taking at key levels and the altcoins really start running, and the confidence is within the ecosystem as a whole, it's sort of permeated out, then you see the dominance fall, and you see altcoins, this dominance falling means that the liquidity is starting to spill faster into the altcoins. So there is something incredible setting up for the altcoin market. That does not mean jump entirely out of Bitcoin and go all in on altcoins. You need to have a diversified portfolio. That, in terms of speaking of strategy, now you need to determine what's right for you and what your allocation is. But this is setting up. This very well could push higher. This could break this regional trend, this range that we're in right here, and this could push higher. This does not mean altcoins won't push as well, but at some point, the higher this pushes, when the liquidity starts flowing out into the other crypto ecosystem, the rest of the crypto ecosystem, the Ethereum, you know, what was the order? Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then large caps and alt season. What is large caps and alt season? Well, we can see Ethereum, and then these here, I would say down to about somewhere 17 to 30. You know, on the conservative side, let's just say 20, maybe 22, because Atom and Chainlink are fairly large too. But you see the difference, the disparity. And even let's look at Atom, you know, Cosmos, $3.3 billion market cap. Do you know how much smaller that is than even looking at Polkadot, 7.8 billion? Okay, that's double. And then we get up into Polygon, 10 billion. Then we get up into Cardano, $14 billion market cap. Then we get up into BNB, 52 billion. Then we get up, see, this is why it's different. Then we get the disparity between the next largest. So we have 585 billion for Bitcoin, Ethereum, 231 billion. And then we see BNB, the next one, is only 52 billion. So the reason this is important, I want you all to stick with me here. We got 249 people in here, 138 likes. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Come on, get engaged with this stream. We're gonna drive these algorithms for YouTube. We are growing fast and we want you in the community. And if you're here watching, hit that, triple tap that like, drop an elbow on that like button, caress that like button. It really does help the stream. It's the easiest way you can help the crypto ecosystem and this channel. But what we're seeing here is Ethereum, if this is kind of in some ways respectively, a little bit of the gates for the next layer where a lot of liquidity will start pouring into the rest of the markets, then what is today? Today is April 11th. So even if you're watching this later, these are considerations you can think of. Let's look at ETH, Shanghai, upgrade. Let's look at this. Okay, well, so let's go. April 12th. So this is tomorrow. This is what I'm getting at. So Ethereum Shanghai upgrade, one of the most awaited crypto events of the year, is scheduled to take place April 12th. So what happens around big news within markets? Big news within markets creates speculation, both positive and negative, meaning people putting puts or calls or longs or shorts, you know, going long, expecting price to go higher, going short, expecting price to go lower. And if there's a buy the rumor, sell the news argument in a lot of cases, but there's also a little bit of uncertainty about what this means for the Ethereum, specifically the Ethereum ecosystem. Well, how can this affect what we're talking about here when we are looking here at this trickle down effect? Okay. If there's a little bit of a holdup, and mind you, Ethereum, it's not like Ethereum's not performing. Ethereum is, let's see, Ethereum did get a little bit of a push up. Let's kind of come here. I'm going to delete this, and we're going to go here on let's go on the 3-day. We see here, I'm going to delete. There's too much going on this chart. All right. So we could see here, this is similarly like if we're looking at thinking about how it looked when we were looking at Bitcoin, the very similar chart formation. We can also do another line right here. This is actually kind of more, sometimes you have a fake out. See, that would be a fake out, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 touch points. So this is valid, even though we had a fake out to the downside and then an inverse head and shoulder or triple bottom, came back into the inside. Now the price action pushed up to this intermediary sort of descending trend line when we were still primarily bearish. Then once we broke above this, held above it, broke through, we are seeing bullishness in Ethereum, but we have not broke. This would be like similar to when we were talking about the Bitcoin breakout above that $24,700 to $25,000 range. Ethereum has not yet broken through this. Raul Zarte said, so you're basically not giving financial advice to start buying Ethereum Cardano right now. I am not giving any financial advice. I am giving you strategies, and I'll show you some levels. And if there's breaks of those levels or strategies that you may or may not deploy to take advantage of potential very large gains. However, that's with the caveat of if you have a good risk management strategy in place. But when we're looking at Ethereum right here, let's go to back out. Let's look back at Bitcoin. We see this descending triangle here, and we see this breaking out, and this is a level right here. This is where we're at for Ethereum right now, this level right here. And why do I say that? Because looking here at Ethereum, see this? This is at high, and we're coming to test that high. So let's go ahead and get rid of this. Ethereum is kind of sitting at the gates, speculators waiting. There's hope, there's excitement, but there's also fear. What happens, when they're having a major upgrade to a large protocol ecosystem like Ethereum? Because if we really think about it, I mean, you got Bitcoin, right? 45% of the dominance. Let's go to DeFi Llama. If you have not gone to DeFi Llama before, come over and check out DeFi Llama. If we come to DeFi, let's go, boom. Let's go to chains. And look at this. This is all the basically TVL, which is total value locked, stuff within smart contracts, within staking pools, within there's within the DeFi ecosystem. Ethereum is the head honcho of the altcoin space, because Ethereum, and there's a lot of other great protocols. I like AVAX, I like Cardano, I love Cardano, Atom. I like there's a lot of different protocols, but there's these layer 1s, there's layer 2s, and we break all this down in BitLab Academy. So definitely, if you have not yet, go check out BitLab Academy, get involved. The new website is, I'm so excited about all this. Courses, quizzes, resources, all video content. It's not text-based like the old Academy was, so get involved. But layer 1s are basically ecosystem protocols that have essentially the infrastructure for other ecosystems to be built on top of that. On top of them. What do I mean by that? Well, if we look at Ethereum, okay, let's look at Ethereum. We can come down here, click on Ethereum. And this is a very important consideration right now, considering the market pushing and seeing what's happening. Specifically, we were talking about Bitcoin dominance. We see Bitcoin dominance going higher. We're in this region that it could get rejected down. At the same time, we're seeing the largest crypto ecosystem, the largest crypto protocol ecosystem within the altcoin markets, Ethereum. And why do I say that? Because we come back over here to DeFi Llama, and we can see within the Ethereum ecosystem, you've got so many protocols built on top of it. You've got Lido, MakerDAO, Aave, Curve, Uniswap, Convex Finance, Compound, Rocketpool, Balancer, Yearn Finance, SushiSwap, Dydix, Synthetics, Tornado Cash, Abracadabra. It goes on and on. Polygon is also built on top of Ethereum. Okay. Look at all this. There's so much involved with Ethereum. So when we're considering what we're going to do with how we're navigating how we're navigating where we allocate our capital, I want to make sure that you don't jump between moving trains. This is the number one thing that just eats people alive in these markets, and that is seeing in this ecosystem. Looking right here, we see Bitcoin is pumping. I have to sneeze. seeing Bitcoin pumping. And because Bitcoin is pumping, and Ethereum, we feel sidelined a little bit, even though it is also starting to pump a little bit. You go, oh, well, Ethereum or Cardano, name the asset, it doesn't matter. This isn't pumping, but this is. So you jump out of the one that could be in a perfect setup. It's just hasn't yet popped. And then you jump into the one that's currently pumping. And as soon as that happens, people start taking profit from that asset you just jumped into. And then those assets start getting pumped into, basically funneled into that asset you just jumped out of. You need to look at the fundamental data as well as the technical data so that you can make asset decisions and trading and investment decisions that are based on data, not because you're excited because you saw a green candle somewhere. You get FOMO because the one you're currently holding isn't moving. So then you transfer you transfer where your capital is allocated, and then you're left holding the bag. And then this one pumps right after you get out of it, and then now you jump out of the one you just got in as it dropped. So you lost some percentage value of your capital, and then you jump back into that one that. And you can't do that. You need to take advantage of looking at your charts and making sure you're set up. So the reason I'm saying all this, very long-winded, is this is a huge consideration. And because Ethereum is going to hold, there's unstaking of a lot of Ethereum that's been staked on Ethereum for the last year and a half plus. And there's some speculation. Does this mean that when it's unstaked, people are going to take advantage of basically getting out? Well, I mean, if we think about it, the people that were staking Ethereum many, many months ago, probably now they've been in the ecosystem for a while, they have some understanding of what's going on within crypto. And they also, a lot of these people, you all included, we're all, everybody's learning. And I can come to this chart right here. They're learning things like this. I'm going to take my face off. Now look at this chart for a second. What do you see? 297 people in the room right now watching, 168 likes. Let's get those likes up. We got a lot of stuff we're covering today. Get those likes up. If we get over 300 likes today, we're going to give a lifetime membership away to the indicators. And while I'm at that, come over here to the BitLab Academy Twitter page. Come to this last tweet, today's tweet, retweet this. We also, we do a drawing every Friday through basically all the people that retweet the daily tweets, and you could be entered to win a lot of different stuff, courses, indicators, merch. We're going to be adding merch to that as well, but a lot of stuff. So come retweet this. But what do you see? Tell me in chat. Tell me what you've learned. What do you see here? What is this showing us? Where we're at right now? What do we do? What do we do when we look at a chart? We look at all the data available to us. Okay, Bitcoin US dollar 3-day chart. Okay, well, what we have? We also have the first halving, second halving, third halving, and we're coming into the fourth halving. And what are we seeing here? Very similar breakdown of time and chart formation in terms of price action and how this price action breaks down, leading into a halving, following a halving, a bear market that happens over a period of time. And then a pre-halving pump and potential correction. We got this pump and correction, and then another pump and correction right after it. This previous cycle, 2016 into 2020, we see a large pump, large bull market bottom, and it's done. It's going to go to the moon. Then the market falls out, breaks down to $3,500, and everybody's calling for $1,000. And this is max fear. This was the best opportunity. Then we get a strong push up. Then a breakdown, then global economic shutdown. This was a little bit of an outlier, but provided max fear here. Okay, max fear created the best opportunity. And then we get this large push up. 500, look at this, 378 days. This was 528. This was 540, roughly about the same time frames. Large bear market, max fear after the FTX collapse. We're getting a very strong push here. Now we need to pay attention to this because this does not mean we're going to do this green portion here. We've learned anything, even with this, even within this right here. Although this looks much larger than this push up right here and collapse was a very significant push up and collapse. I did the math the other day on this, and in this sort of period, there was 100%, 140% pump, and then a 60, 70% drop, and then a 30%, 45% pump, then a 35% drop. This was choppy. This was eating emotional people alive. You need to trade with the plan. And if you see coming over here to Looknode, you know, this is the on-chain metric that I developed a few years back that Looknode is now hosting. You can, this is a free looknode.com. They got a lot of free charts. Just come to Looknode, go to market valuation, cycle valuation, come down to Bitcoin trend fib opportunity zone. And I'm going to turn all the fibs off and look at just 2 or 3 key metrics here. I'm just going to take my face off so you can see. So you go to market valuation, cycle valuation, come down to Bitcoin trend fib opportunity zone. Now what we're going to do is turn off all these bands and look at just at the 3 key metrics that that really drive understanding of the market. Okay. Bull control. So we have 4 lines on this chart. We have the Bitcoin price, which is obviously this thing that looks like the price. And then we have the trend signal line, which I call it the trend signal line, but it is the short-term holder realized price. You can see this one flashing on the screen. And we see the accumulation zone. I like this because this helps determine good spots to maybe not immediately start accumulating, but you are in the zone to start looking to other data. And that's this line that's flashing. Now, so if we turn off the trend signal line and we turn off realized price, we just look at the long-term holder realized price. Okay, this is the average price of all coins that were held for a long period of time or by wallets that are long-term holders. When they start selling, when they start taking profits, it drives this. It drives the value of this up. And long-term holders take profits into the strength of trends, which is why you see this go up significantly, okay? And you also see coins that are bought along the way here from smart money buyers. And as these coins are held longer than 155 days, then that average price gets then matriculated into this metric, and this metric rises. And we can see that this has identified excellent zones of likely trend bear market lows, which has marked excellent zones for accumulation. Now, does this mean as soon as price goes down here, you buy? Not necessarily, but it does show you that, okay, we are entering, at least as soon as we drop below this, we're at least entering the tail end of a bear market, likely good market cycle entry zone. This tapped this perfectly right on the market capitulation, March 2020. We see this was riding right on top of it until we got the FTX collapse. Boom. Now we come to realized price. This is the average of all coins in circulation the last time they moved. Now we can come to short-term holder realized price. And if we turn off these other 2, we can see here the short-term holder realized price. Once we break through it, now we broke through here and capitulated back down. So you've always got to be wary. But once we broke through this acted as a key support the entire way up for this entire bull run. Once we broke below it, key resistance all the way down until we broke back above it. Strong bull trend. Broke below it, it was resistance. Broke back above it, bull trend. Broke below it. This was a bit of a fake out continuation. This tested it and continued up. Bear trend. Now here, where we're at right now, we broke above it, came back down and tested this perfectly. Now when we tested down a little bit and we came down, this was a retest of the short-term holder realized price. You see this right here, the small dip, we can even zoom in, the small dip and then the deeper dip. So even if we got a correction from here, the short-term holder realized price is 22,264 as of April 8th. If we zoom in to this a little bit tighter, I bet we can get a closer date. Yeah, so 22,300. It's rising rapidly. We could have a correction all the way down to this level and still be bullish. So I want you to pay attention to that. And the reason I bring that up, and this isn't that far away, but if we look at we do have a CME gap below us that we formed the other day. If we zoom in on this, you can see right here down at, this is 28,000. So we could have a correction here. This would still be very bullish. If we came down here, I'm sure there'd be quite a bit of buy orders here, but we could even fake out and get a real washout all the way down to the $22,000, 22,300 by that time. If this were to break down, this would stair step. So it'd probably be like this. Let's get if this were to get rejected from here, come on. this were to get rejected from here, come down, bounce, come down, bounce, and then into this zone right, right here. And this would be a telling factor of what we do. Maybe test that short-term holder realized price. The reason I'm pointing this out, and I'm not necessarily of the thought that this is going to happen, but if we are bullish, I want you to really take note of this. If we are bullish, we need to first challenge our directional bias. If we are bullish, let's see what's possible in terms of a bearish washout. If this is a bull trap, very likely in crypto, we get double traps where we get a fake out to the upside bull trap and then really shake out to the downside. This is what happened right here. Push up, trap, push down, trap, and then continuation to the upside. So if this were to happen in this situation, push up, trap, break down, test that $22,300 level. By the time we got there, it'll probably be closer to $23,000. So I just want to point that out. Now we can turn on a couple more of these. Let's zoom out on this a little bit. We got 346 people watching, 198 likes. And also I want to shout out to the super chat earlier. I really appreciate those things. I'm trying to turn off the ads on this channel. But we do have to pay the light bill. So any super chats that you all do, I really try to make sure to read those out live and give you all a shout. So special shout out there for, I forget who did it. Let's see. Raul Zarte. I appreciate you. Thank you so very much. And if you notice, I did turn off the midstream ads. I didn't even know those were happening. So I want to make sure that we can just move through all this content without you guys getting interrupted. But we could see, let's turn on some of these other fib bands. All these other bands, other than these realized price and short-term hurdle, like these are key metrics. But you see this cross right here. The short-term holder is crossed above the long-term holder and the realized price in general. Now, the last couple times this happened, boom. Strong bull move, okay? Now we can come right here, boom, strong bullish trend. Now let's turn on some of the other fibs. Now we can see the capitulation zone. We have broken through the capitulation zone, which would be on the downside, but on the upside, see the capitulation, boom, this is this gray band right here. On the upside, this is the hope zone. Look at this, this was found resistance right at this zone. As soon as we broke through it, strong bullish trend. Now found support on this, and we actually capitulated below this. Once we got back above this, back above this, strong bullish trend. We can even zoom out further and see the same thing happened right here. Look at this capitulation. This is this right here. As soon as we broke through it, boom. Once we're back above it. But now what we're sitting at, the next level, the next one up is the bull floor band. This could also be the accumulation ceiling band. I might add that to the title here, but we can see this did get rejected in the 2015 cycle. Long accumulation here, oscillating 40 to 100% moves up and down. This is a lot of washing out here, but then once we push up to this did get rejected back down, and we rode on this hope band, the short-term holder realized price bands right here until we pushed up above it. And then look at that. Then the bull floor band became the support all the way up. Similarly right here, found support, and then we rode the bull floor band and then launched from there. So we are still sitting, if we actually zoom this all the way over, look at where we're at right now. We are coming up to contend with this level. What is the level? About $32,000 as of February 8th. If we zoom in a little bit tighter, we might get a better, February 8th. So about $32,000. So there's a lot of things lining up. And the question is, are we going to get it rejected at this level or come back down? I don't know, but let's look at what the data shows us. Any analyst that's out there that tells you they know exactly what's going to happen, run away from them. What we can tell you, anybody that's worth their salt, that anybody that's really providing information that matters, that you can utilize, is giving you different lenses of data that you can interpret to stack probabilities either for a directional opportunity or against it. And so, as I mentioned, I am bullish, but there is a lot of things we need to consider. What are some of those things? Well, when we come over here to CoinGlass, I was bringing this up earlier and I got sidetracked. There's a free website. Come here to liquidation data. Okay, now scroll down. I'm going to exit out of this ad here. Now we can come down, where we at? Right here. Now this is on all, let's go to 4 hours. Now, what are we seeing here? What are we seeing here? These bars, large green bars, are longs getting liquidated. These red bars to the downside are shorts getting liquidated. Well, what does this mean? Everybody knows what this means, but do you know what it means? This is people that were betting short and the price action got pushed above a point that they were either, they had to close their positions or they got liquidated. Because when you're trading on spot, yes, price can, say you went long and price goes down, you can't get liquidated unless you choose to close your position. A spot means, like, for instance, if you're trading on Coinbase and there's no multiplication, there's no 2x, 3x, 5x, you're just buying one for one, $1 worth of Bitcoin, okay? There's no liquidation there. You can capitulate, which means to sell, but shorts are people, options and derivatives, and these people that are trading on Bybit and BitGet, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing. What the problem with these things is most people trade these things ineffectively without good risk management, okay? And these are people going short, and as the price pushes above their liquidation point. So if somebody is trading, you know, a 20x leverage short, then the gap in which the price can push up before they get liquidated it can be quite small. And if they're 40x, it's even smaller, okay? Because they're borrowing, they're trading, say, $1,000, and if they're trading 20x, then they're trading $20,000 worth of that asset with only using $1,000 of their own collateral. And so what happens is the exchanges, whether it's Bybit, BitGet, KuCoin, and this is not wrong, this is how things work. You're essentially taking a loan out, a margined loan from that institution. They say, okay, you put up $1,000 worth of collateral. We'll give you the $20,000 and you have $1,000 up, okay? But if price goes beyond this position, then you have to, it's, for instance, if it's a short, then anybody that's short that's getting to that liquidation point, if you get liquidated, then your position is forced to buy that same amount in the opposite direction. So what happens is we're seeing these strong liquidations. In this case, for some reason, my computer's lagging. We see, so there was some long, some short liquidations. And what I'm looking at right here is this right here. We can see the totals. Now, what we can see is all of a sudden here, we got $44 million shorts liquidated, $27 million shorts liquidated, $62 million in shorts liquidated. So there's a lot of short liquidations that are fueling this uptrend. So we need to be aware of that when we're thinking about the health of a move. Now, there's a couple things that can happen when these things take place. This is called a short squeeze. Price action gets pushed up above the levels that people can see in order books. Smart traders, institutional traders, algorithmic, like mechanically algorithmic traders that are just automatically trading on programmed sequences. They can push money past where they see liquidation points in an order book and squeeze these shorts, forcing long buys. And so when we're looking at this on the chart, we've got to pay attention to this move. Now let's come down to the 24-minute. We can get a lot more data. So 24-minute, we're seeing we get pushed past. We did have this chart formation here. We broke out above this. Let me double click on. We broke out above this, and what we want to see here is we don't want to see. Let's go on the 1 hour. We don't want to see these strong bullish momentum candles push to the upside, and then sideways consolidation, and then basically a lot of shorts get entered, or some more longs get entered, the retail longs, because they're not trading wisely. And then we get a move down just as quick as we had a move up. That's what we need to pay attention to. That's what we need to be prepared for. That's why we need to manage risk. Now, this is very bullish for markets right now as price is breaking key levels, breaking past this Luna collapse right here. This was a Luna collapse right here. And then a rebound, consolidation, and then, further collapses. If we come over to, let's come to you. If you have not watched the Saturday stream, I had this gentleman on Saturday, and he's such a smart individual. He's got it marked right here. We can see This Luna low, this was the wick that I was just talking about. You don't see it on this because this is the line chart. This is that Luna low. And then a little consolidation, stair step down, push, sideways, push, sideways, push, okay? This is the Luna collapse. This created a lot of insolvencies with other institutions that were not practicing healthy risk management. And then we start seeing a further sell-off. And then because of this, this puts, this is like Warren Buffett saying, when the tide goes out, you see who's swimming naked. This is when we see the 3O's Capitals and Celsius collapse lows. And then and then FTX collapse. And we're seeing all of this now, opportunity for the max fear and the price action pushing up. But we can see right here, this price action, where is this mark in relationship? We're seeing this is a key level. So coming back to the chart, key level that we're trading in this region. Let's go ahead and turn off all the lines. We can go right to where this is. Look at this. We're coming right into this volume node. Also, you see this? This is a VPVR on the right, where volume is traded at the respective price levels. This is how we can see it. And if yours looks more blocky, you can double click on it. I'll show you what I mean by blocky. Let's delete this off the chart. We come here, come to indicators, put VPVR or VRVP, volume range, visual profile. This is typically how it looks, very blocky, doesn't give you a lot of resolution. Double click on it. Right here, row size, you could put, I put 225 or 250, whatever you want. The more you put, the more processing power it does take though. And you see how it's not as blocky, you get a lot more bars at specific price levels. All right, so we're seeing that this traveled very quickly through, look, low volume gap. So there was not a lot of interest historically at this level. So price action moved very quickly through it. Now we consolidated here and look at this range right here. If we draw this range around this box and pull this across, this is right at this previous support and basically a lot of support here. And we were finding resistance right below this. You see how these things overlap? Now turning off these lines again, we could see that the now price action, you could see my cursor has gone all the way across with the crosshairs. We could see my hat's crooked. My Bitcoin hat is crooked. We got to get this on straight so the market pumps. This is pushing into a very key level here. If we're able to break, if Bitcoin is able to break through this, just in terms of the next levels, we could see right here, I'm going to turn back on the lines. We could see right in here, I'm actually going to bring this down just a little bit like this. And we could see that there's some resistance, not only at basically the peak sort of levels right here, which is also in line with this breakout target. We got way too much going on. Sometimes you just got to clean up your chart, you know? We don't need all this small time frame stuff on here anymore, do we? Because Bitcoin's making moves. Shout out for Bitcoin making moves. 303 people in here. We got 226 live likes. Get those likes up. We get over 300 likes, I'll be doing a lifetime giveaway. But in order to get that giveaway, you got to come in here also. This is how we're going to draw it. You got to come to today's on BitLab Academy's Twitter page, which is at Academy BitLab. Retweet this tweet, and I'll be randomly drawing from all the names of the people that retweeted this tweet. And you got to like BitLab Academy. And I'll be, if we get over 300 likes on this stream, I will be doing that lifetime giveaway for the indicators. Now, we got a lot of stuff going on here. So what does this mean? If Ethereum is being held up, and we have targets that also line up with where this key levels are we going to get another pump to the upside? Well, let's look to the technical data. Well, first step, let's actually come over here to, where's Glassnode? We do see on Glassnode, exchange net position change. This is money flowing, coins flowing onto exchange, preparing to sell, or people are confident and they're moving off of exchange into private storage. Well, we could see this, you know, where we're having a little bit of price action issue right here. We see this green wave. Let's go ahead and zoom in right here. We see that this was a 24 to 25,000 region right here. We see, and this got up, this is when we broke it. We got up to 27. There was some profit taking here. See this green wave, this right here is coins going onto exchange. And then once that profit taking was happening, people moved off of exchange. And we got a little bit of a pump. People, you know, still kind of not sure. And then we see the coins come off of exchange and we get a little bit of a pump. But we are seeing some coins come back onto exchange. So just a note here, we have to look at all the data available to us. Now, Bitcoin, let's go ahead and look at our indicators. BitLab Trading Stack. has basically the market intelligence, which has reads divergences through all these different indicators. So you're getting like 10 or 12 different indicators in one with just the market intelligence. And then of course we have the hidden volume, which is one of the best indicators to really understand if there's interest at levels, whether there's underlying bullishness or underlying bearishness. And then of course we have the relative extrema, which is the health of the move within the trend, as well as an aggregate momentum wave, which we can see here. And when we see these bars sticking out, you all know this, but I have to reemphasize this so you all can use this correctly, because you can use this as a momentum wave as well as the health. This is underlying bearishness while the move is actually moving up. Okay, so we can see right here where are we at right now. Then also, of course, we have BitLab significant movement, which is an aggregate of momentums, stochastics, MACD, money, all the things that we want to see if we're hitting a likely trend cycle, is if things are generally overvalued in consensus or undervalued. And when we look right now at the market, let's look at the 4 hour. This has been overheated, but this does not necessarily mean it's absolutely going to break down, because if we zoom back in time, let's for instance go on the 12 hour. We could see this whole move was overheated. And that's okay, because when you have very strong moves, things can be, the stochastics all the way up at the top. So we want to look for the other signals. We want to look to other indicators. We want to see, okay, this is looking overheated on the 12 hour. Let's go to the 3-day. Okay, let's go to the daily. Overheated. So we're seeing strength, if anything else. 4 hours. Okay, now the momentum wave is starting to come down a little bit, and we did get some bearish divergences here on the market intelligence, histogram and momentum. But let's come down to the 1 hour and get a little better view of what's going on. Okay, now we were overheated through this move. Now look at this launch point. I want you to notice this. Look at this setup here with multiple indicators between the entire BitLab trading stack. We have here on I want to show you the hidden volume. So we're seeing this ride this trend line right here, and we're all this bearish narrative. See these red waves? If we zoom in on this, this is bearish divergences on volume, showing underlying bearish pressure. And this was kind of held on the lower side right on this support line. And then we see this flip to bullish divergences. Right at the same time, we're seeing the relative extremas sticking out to the downside, and we see this flash blue right here. We get a low print, and then this immediately flips to the bullish narrative here, and we get a pump. Get a little bit of consolidation, and we're getting continuation of bullish narrative with the hidden volume, and we're getting these relative extrema bars sticking to the downside, showing underlying bullishness. With any of this bearish attempt, underlying bullishness coming in, this gets even bullish divergence here with these deeper bars to the downside here on the relative extrema, and we get the bullish divergence on volume and on balance volume and the external divergences here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we get a launch to the upside. Now, where we're at right now, we're getting a little bit of bearishness, but we're sitting right on a volume node, but that's hard to read that volume node because there's nothing else. We need to go to a larger time frame. So let's go to auto, turn off market intelligence. I want to see where our volume nodes are here. Okay, so if we're able to break through this, then there is quite a bit of a volume gap here, So if we're able to push up and basically hold this, get up to the $32,000 area, that's where we reassess. We are getting a little bit overheated on the 4 hour, but there's retail excitement coming in. So let's go ahead and look through some of our other coins. As it stands right now, I'm looking at, if this does come down, retest down at $29,000 level. But in reality, I'm seeing some bullishness within the markets. So I'm thinking I would be leaning towards a push, a consolidation here, or a quick wick up to this area, and then a potential pullback testing of this area. And if we lose this area, then we can look down to the lower areas. Maybe this trend line here, which would be basically $27,000, 26.8, 26.9. But I'm thinking we're going to push up and consolidate in this region. So let's go ahead and look through to some of our other coins. So Ethereum is looking right here. Let's look 2 hour. We're pushing. Look at this. This is that 25K region that we had, that fight we had with Bitcoin. So if we're able to, in all honesty, I think we need to be patient with this what happens in tomorrow. With all the news, there could be a potential sell-off because it's buy the rumor, sell the news. We have the upgrade coming out. But if we look to some of our indicators, we are getting, look at this, 3 bearish divergences, MACD, RSI, and stochastics. Now looking at, this is a little overheated. This is on the 2 hour. Let's look a little more broadly. Let's look at the 8 hour. Okay, now this is a little concerning. 8 hour relative extrema is showing that, look at these bars are sticking way outside. So this is in line with this also rolling over. This does not mean you just need to sell all your Ethereum right now. I think this is a sit on your hands, sit on the sidelines sort of scenario. Let the market sort of work its way out, because I think there could be a washout in both directions on this. So where are we at with the rest? Let's we forgot to look at something very important. That is a crypto market cap for all altcoins other than Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, again, this is very much going to be sort of, we have a range, sort of a range going here. Option J, see this, this area right here. This did wash out to the downside, but we've got this sort of range traveling right here. So yeah, man, things are, it's getting excited for tomorrow and basically the rest of the week. One of the things we need to pay attention to, I did not mention this yet. We've got key economic data coming out tomorrow. Another reason to be on the sidelines. Let's come over to forexfactory.com/calendar. This could cause a market shakeout and also a huge market pump, depending on what comes out. Today is not Monday. Today's not Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. Wednesday, look at this. We talked about this yesterday. CPI, core CPI. We've got some big data coming out tomorrow. Why does this matter? Markets are pushing, markets are pumping, there's good things, but the narrative around what's happening with markets this last year, but even more specifically as it's come to a head, August, July through November, July through December, and now still this debate about what the Fed should be doing with monetary policy, about inflation, and also now the narrative with the banks being squeezed. But CPI is a consumer price index. It's one of the ways in the core CPI as well, cutting food and energy out of that. So they're getting a reading about the economists and the Fed are getting the readings that's got market participants and analysts, you and I, banks, economists and strategists within Bloomberg and Forbes and Goldman Sachs and all these people that Jim Cramer, as much as I hate all of his calls, he does have an impact in the traditional world. People listen to him. Now I think of him as anything he says, I do the opposite, but these people have a voice and a narrative within the space, and we need to contend with that. And the CPI data coming out tomorrow, with the banks already facing some collapses, Credit Suisse, Deutsche Bank being very, kind of on the edge there. UBS having to take over Credit Suisse, Signature Bank, Silicon Valley Bank. Are there other banks? First Republic. So this battle with what they're going to do about inflation. If the CPI reads that inflation has gone down, then this could give more fuel for market beneficial monetary policy that could be coming out in the next FOMC meeting. So we've got to really pay attention to this, because markets are setting up, but sometimes markets get set up for people to get knocked down. The market eats people alive that are not prepared. So because the market pushed, because we had this bullish candle, and we're seeing these bullish movements in different assets, GRT pushed up, consolidation. We haven't broken out yet. See GRT pushed up to roughly the same level, actually a lower high. We're kind of in this range right now. Things are it's kind of like a runner stretching before, a race on a track, but it's a mud track. And there's clouds, and they're not sure if the race is going to happen or not. But the runner in case it does happen, the runner still stretches so that he could be prepared. So we need to stretch our minds. We need to stretch our knowledge and adapt our strategy to not be shaken out by the emotional charged things that are going to happen in the market over the next 6 to 9 weeks. We're coming in through April into May. There's a very familiar saying with the market, sell in May and walk away. Why is that? Has a lot to do with the traditional asset space. A lot of the early part of the year, the tax stuff's already sorted. People go on vacation. There's not as many people at trading desks. And all these things have dynamic sort of effects on the markets. And then, after the market shakes out, you get a push up at the beginning of the year. And then what happens if there's a push up? People that are avid traders, people that trade markets, institutions, smart money, they take advantage of, fueling things to have strong market push to the upside. And they only do that so that then they could take profits. And if they take profits and there's a lot of allocation of money coming out of markets, and if somebody's going to go on vacation or big money trader, they don't sit there and their trading portfolio, just leave it sitting there for the 2 months that they're hanging out in Monaco. No, they take their money out of the market, or they place shorts on the market. They let the asset class have its cycle and move to where the positions move lower. And then once they come back from vacation, then there's this isn't the entire narrative, but this is part of it. Then they see the market has been pushed further down. Now they can allocate their capital and get more positions because the asset price is lower. So that's what we're trying to do. That's what we want to be able to do as an independent retail trader. That's what I want you to be able to do. So as this data comes out, I do think that we are going to have a very bullish post-Easter. And if I come back over here, this is another chart just to forewarn. This is something that could happen, push up. And this is kind of what I was talking about earlier, going down to that $23,000 level. If we were to break down here, this would be a Wyckoff distribution event where you push, and you get this sort of last push above this previous high and then break down. This could play out, but also we come over here to Stock Money Lizards. I believe it was Stock Money Lizards. They did a post. Let me take my face off here. And it was regarding Easter and post-Easter. Let's see. I don't know where it is, but it was basically a post-Easter pumps. Doesn't matter. Let's get back to the task at hand. April historically has been a fairly good month for Bitcoin. We have to look back to the past two of these huge selling events that have happened in May. CryptoFace also really pointed it out huge when the market was ripping in 2021. And, sell in May and walk away. And everybody thought he was crazy because everybody wanted the market to go to 100K. But then that was the start of a huge economic downturn, bearishness across almost all markets. And so we need to pay attention to what's happening pre-halving. So let's go over a bunch more coins here. Okay, we got Filecoin. That this is on the 3-day. I mean, we still have massive opportunity here. It has pumped quite. It broke out of this downtrend, but we can always do multiple downtrends. All right, we can always do multiple trend lines. We can kind of see potential stopping point. See, this is a peak here. This is a peak here. So on the way up, I'm going to be watching this. We can also look option T or Alt T if you're on PC. Look at these points right here. So this was a support. This was resistance, support, resistance, resistance. So now we come down to the smaller time frame. Filecoin. This is just kind of trading in a range. But what I'm also seeing here, it's very minimal. But what I'm also seeing here, this is on the 4 hour. We are seeing a little bit of a rounding bottom here. This could be setting up for stronger moves. Now coming, and we've got some levels, option J. See, we have support, rejection. So this is how you get a general sort of basic idea of where price movement may give you hurdles. Option F for Fibonacci, bring this down. Now, this golden pocket is perfectly in line with this previous supports here. So on the way up, if this were to continue to break to the upside, I'd be looking at, now this is a little bit of a low volume gap, but this might be because we're zoomed in. Come on. I'd be looking at pit stop here. This is also the 382. Pit stop here up at 657, continuation up to 742, which is also kind of front running the golden pocket here. Now, if we zoom out on this, another stop, the 786 up here at 846, and then all the way up here to that extended trend line that we showed up at the 965, 967 sort of zone. So Filecoin is looking set up. XRP, obviously huge speculation on XRP. Let's come out to the 12-hour. We had a descending channel here. Also a little bit of a kind of a bull, not really a bull flag. It's strong push with a bullish sort of descending channel here, but we broke out sideways consolidation. Now we're in another sideways range trade right here. It could be actually a bit of a ascending triangle, which is a bullish formation. We have a flat top here with the ascending support. Now continuing up, we've already got the fib drawn. We can see that the golden pocket is basically right above us at the 55 cent range, 56 cent range. The previous high is at 58 cents, and the continuing up, we can see that we have a 1.618 up at 65, and then previous price action resistance up at the 72 cent range. So things are looking bullish, but things are waiting for all of things to get, for the liquidity to start really flowing into these markets. We need to have confidence, and the rumors right now, the Shanghai update is only can be a rumor until it actually happens. And then as it happens, is there going to be hiccups? Are there going to be any bridge hacks? Are there going to be any exploitations? Is it going to run smoothly? Is it going to happen with Ethereum? I'm talking about. Is it going to happen and see further people stake more stuff, or is there going to be a huge offloading? This is some of these things we need to take into consideration as to why Bitcoin dominance is pumping and Ethereum and altcoins are getting a little bit of an explosion. But hesitation, this is where that hesitation is coming from. We can see Algorand broke out of this downward trend. It was kind of riding it, broke to the upside, but has not been able to break this level right above us at 22.4, 22 cents, 22.4 cents. The next move above that is the previous high up right about 24 cents. And then we can see this descending trend line, which is above, which would be above us there if it continues out about 24.5, point of control, 25 cents, and then all the way up to the major trend line up at 28 cents, 28.6. And then if we actually, let's come out to the 12-hour. So if we were to make our way up here, 27, 28 cents, then we have our sort of major zone right here. This is a 29 cent major key level right here. This is a previous high of this local range, as well as a lot of support here. This is the zone for the true bulls to be unlocked for Algorand right here at 29 cents. We got 296 people watching, 264 likes. If we get to 300 likes, we're giving that lifetime membership away. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that bell. Make sure you're coming over here to the BitLab Academy page on Twitter, retweeting this. This is what we're drawing from. And even if we don't get to the 300 today, you're still entered to win. Friday is when we do another drawing. And if you have not yet, make sure you come and check out BitLab Academy. Get involved, get in the newsletter, sign up. We got the new website. I mean, all the content. I was going through all the final graphics and the final membership database stuff that we've been migrating over. We are there. We are getting involved with this. So get involved here. You also are entered to win. So put your email in here. It's a free newsletter. It's not just promotional. We send out chart, sort of trade setup, some stuff with the indicators, information about new stuff that's available within the academy. A lot of great stuff here, and the new site it's coming, baby. So let's do a couple more charts before we have to wrap this out. Let's see if we can get up to 300 likes. Come on, hit that stuff, and let's see what the poll said. Let's close this poll. In poll, what did you all say? So 66% think it's going to be 32 to 34K next for Bitcoin. 33% are shorting. So let's do that's a good to know. It's good to see what's going on here. So Algorand, before we can really see a massive move, and this is already pretty big, you know, from here to previous high is 34% to this level right here. Yeah, about 34%. And then from there, let's go to the 3-day. And then from there, auto. And then from there to previous all-time high for Algorand, which is, I mean, this is 1,100%. Okay. We got a lot of stuff brewing here. We got a lot of stuff brewing in the crypto ecosystem. Now, XRP, we talked about. Gala, let's talk about Gala. Okay, yeah, this is coming up to a pretty key level of resistance. It's chopping in a range. Once we break through this level, the next level I'll be looking for is 51 cents. Not 51 cents. Are you kidding me? I have so much Gala. That would if it was 51 cents, I would be jumping for joy. 5.1 cents is what I should say. The next level for there would be the previous high here, option J. This is just simple TA. And then once you get your basic levels, then you can come here, option F, get your Fibonacci, drag it to the low here, and we can see right now we're sitting, look at this, rejection or resistance right at the 382. And look at this, previous high. This was from the top to the bottom. We already got rejected at this golden pocket, this 0.65 to 0.618. If you use Fibonacci, you're trying to figure this out, I'm gonna throw it back to the beginners here. You can double click on it or come over here to your you double click on your fib and go in here and edit, add a 0.65 and a 0.618. And if you don't like all the colors, you see these colors on the chart, you can just dim this or just turn the background off. It's a lot more cleaner chart, but this next level, this previous high of this local range is at 5.1 cents, which is about a 25% push up from here, 23%. Okay. And then the next push from there is all the way up another push up, another 22%. So if we break this range here, this would be a 45% push to the previous high. Okay, look where we're at. We're 285 likes, 279. There's some people that I'm sure are in here haven't hit that like button. So hit that like button. We will do that lifetime giveaway. Now let's Avalanche. Let's see what Avalanche looks like. It's trying to make a move. So 8 hours. Okay, we got this massive downtrend here. And you see how I did this? Sometimes it's not, you can also do this, by the way. Option T, come here and then map this out, because this is going to give us a level of resistance in the future, because we touched this point and this point, but this touched the most points, which is why I did this as a trend line. Even came down here, boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. We're getting cheesy here today. So we can see here, we do have on the 8 hour, a little bit of bearish divergence. We have relative extremists ticking out. We are starting to get a little overheated, but if we're able to break above this level, which is a lot of option J, we can see, look at this, support, rejection. We're right at that level. We're able to break through this. This is the next level here, 1953, and then up to the previous high, this level here, about 21, 22. And then from there, we've got option J. We've got this level all the way up to 30. We have so much stuff setting up there's so much stuff setting up. So I want you all to be patient. I want you to hit that like button. I want you to subscribe and ding that bell. And I want you all just to go back through the videos. If you haven't yet, if you're watching over the 24/7 stream, make sure you come over to the BitLab Academy daily stream here. We're up over 6,000. Subscribe, join our community. It's all about not just doing TA. It's showing you why. It's showing you how. It's showing you what. It's giving you resources. I've given you so many free resources. This is all about all you folks. We got two likes away from giving you the lifetime membership for the indicators. I'm going to go ahead and load that up in case we get over 300. Comment picker. All right, now let me go ahead. I'm loading it in. I think we're going to get over 300. Come on, guys, you can do it. 2 more likes. Now I am just loading this up. Okay, I'm going to do it anyway. Somebody took a like away. Log in with Twitter. Authorize app. All right, guys. lifetime giveaway to the indicators. 3 people hit that like button. Do it. All righty, let's see. Copy link to tweet. 299, we're right there. Come on. Oh, 303. All right, let's do it. All right, so I just copied this right here. I'll show you. Copy link to tweet. I'm coming over here, putting this link in. And by the way, you got to go retweet that BitLab tweet right now, right before I pull all the data. And this is how we do it. Now here we go. Okay, now get the data. Getting the data. This is for a lifetime membership for the indicators, the BitLab Trading Stack, BitLab Trading Suite, all the stuff. Okay, we got the names. Now, boom, select the winner. Bing, 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 ding, 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 ding. Matthew Kuhn. I'm screenshotting that. I am going to message you. Thank you so much. Big love to everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful day. This is so exciting. I love being able to give back to all of you. Go get involved with bitlabacademy.com. We have so much stuff. You have no idea how much stuff we have coming. I mean, it really is incredible. Again, blockchain 101, Bitcoin 101, self-custody, exchanges, trading fundamentals, psychology of trading, candles, candle patterns, on-chain analysis, indicators. And this isn't just ours, it's RSIs, stochastics, Bollinger Bands, like breaking down a lot of different information. Trading strategies. We got so much coming. So go and get involved with BitLab Academy. Follow us on our socials. And that is all I have for you today. I hope you have a safe trading day and you can turn those profits, set your stops. And when things start going into profit, you can either set up a trailing stop loss or start moving your stop losses up. So you can always stay in a trade, but if it does reverse, you're always going to consistently be more and more profit. With that being said, thank you for being here. My name is Kellam. If this is your first time, I hope to see you again. And everybody have a wonderful day. It's starting to feel like spring here in New York. I'm going to go get some sunshine on my face for a little bit, come back in and get back on the charts. Big love to everybody. Adios, over and out. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ding the bell. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being our friend. That like button, sucker. Come join us in this community. BitLabAcademy.com